So if you've handled the addiction and maybe addiction was never an issue for you, you're still tired. And when you really think about it, home doesn't feel restful. Welcome back to the Reap and Rise Roadmap. I'm Dr. Catherine Muyeba, a lifestyle psychiatrist and an addiction and ADHD specialist. I work with professional women who are absolutely brilliant at managing their careers, businesses, and household but feel burned out. In this series, we are looking at the hidden sources of burnout and have just finished our focus on navigating someone else's addiction. So moving on to another hidden source of burnout, let's talk about something many professional women don't say out loud. Sometimes the burnout isn't work, it's the relationship. Not necessarily abuse and not necessarily chaos, not necessarily something dramatic enough to explain to friends, just constant emotional labor. When home is not a place where your nervous system can stand down. And here's what I see in high functioning women. You manage conflict before it escalates. You soften the tone to keep the peace. You anticipate moods, you absorb tensions, and you remember everything. You initiate the difficult conversations and you repair after arguments. You are the emotional thermostat. No one notices. From the outside, the relationship looks stable, but internally, you are always adjusting. And adjusting is exhausting. Let me ask you something gently. When you walk through your front door, does your body exhale or brace? That microsecond reaction tells you everything. Burnout doesn't only come from doing too much. It comes from never feeling safe enough to fully rest. And if you are the one holding emotional stability in your home, your nervous system never clocks off. You may not even argue often, but maybe you feel unheard, you feel unseen, you're lonely inside partnership, like the grown-up in every room. You might think it's not that bad, but your body keeps score. Some women tell me, I just wish someone would notice what I carry. And others say, if I stop holding it together, everything will fall apart. And that belief right there is a burnout accelerator, because it means you never truly put the weight down. And let's define emotional labor clearly. So emotional labor may look like this: monitoring the emotional climate, managing reactions, anticipating needs, preventing discomfort, carrying conversations, and remembering what matters. And doing it so seamlessly that no one realizes it's happening. In many relationships, women are socialized into this role early. Be kind, be accommodating, be the glue, but glue hardens. And over time, it becomes pressure. Now, here's the part that may feel confronting. Sometimes the exhaustion isn't because your partner is terrible. It's because the dynamic is unbalanced. You overfunction and they underfunction. Not maliciously, just habitually. And overfunctioning feels noble at first. It feels responsible, capable, mature, until it feels heavy, then resentful, and then lonely. Relationship burnout often sounds like this internally. I'm tired of always being the bigger person. I'm tired of initiating everything. And I'm tired of explaining basic emotional concepts. I'm tired of carrying the invisible load. And yet, you keep doing it. Because you're competent, because you love them, and because you don't want conflict, because you've always been the strong one. But here's the truth. If home is not a place of emotional balance, your nervous system never recalibrates. You stay in low grade vigilance. Not dramatic and just constant. And constant drains you slowly. So, what do we do? And this is where the REAP framework becomes practical. First, reflect. Not is my partner good or bad, but what does my body feel at home? Do I feel safe? Do I feel equal? Do I feel emotionally supported? Or do I feel responsible? Then, second, envision. If your relationship felt nourishing, what would be different? I suppose maybe more shared initiatives, more appreciation, more accountability, perhaps more emotional maturity. Be honest on this one because you cannot move forward from what you cannot name. And third, analyze. What are you overfunctioning? What are you doing automatically that someone else cannot step in? And are you rescuing before being asked? Are you explaining before they reflect? Apologizing to restore peace quickly? And write this down if you can. Over-functioning creates under-functioning. When you carry it all the time, someone else never has to grow. And finally, plan. Not a dramatic ultimatum, not a threat. So one shift, one boundary, one sentence you stop cushioning, one responsibility you stop preempting, and that one moment where you allow silence instead of fixing. Because burnout doesn't reverse through confrontation alone. It reverses through balance. Now, let me say something important here. If you are in a relationship that is abusive emotionally, physically, financially, that is not emotional labor. That's different. That is harm. And you deserve specialist support and safety planning. So what we're talking about today is the quiet imbalance that slowly drains high capacity women. And if this resonates with you, you are not demanding. You are certainly not ungrateful. You are likely tired of being emotionally self-sufficient inside a partnership. And that is valid. Let's end here for now. Burnout is not always about workload. Sometimes it's about balance, give and take. You cannot rest where you are always responsible. And next week, we're going even deeper because many women watching this don't just carry emotional labor at home. They carry it everywhere. Could be at work, in the wider family, in the church, in friendships. We'll be talking about the strong one pattern and why being capable can quietly become your heaviest burden. And if this episode resonated, take the Busy Woman quiz. It will help you identify which hidden burnout patterns are operating most strongly in your life right now. And if you're ready for deeper recalibration, you can book the REAP and Rise life audit with me. Because thriving isn't about coping better. It's about caring differently. I'll see you next week. Take care of yourself and have a fabulous week.